And then you in the situation are represented by Ace of Coins. Love that there for you. Really new, fresh energy. Second house, coins energy. Totally makes sense. Your environment is Seven of Swords in reverse. And your hopes and fears is the Wheel of Fortune. And then potential outcome is Six of Wands in reverse. Bottom of the deck is Four of Swords in reverse. So let's take a look at this, Cancer, and see what it's saying to us. I see here in the center that we've got Empress and it's crossed by Nine of Swords. So Empress is the card of fertility, of growth, abundance, wealth, letting all the riches of life flow to you and being receptive. And she's also, satisfied. She's also supremely abundant. With her in the reverse position, what it's telling me, Cancer, is that some of you may be doubting your ability to draw the good things of the universe towards you, and that is compounded by Nine of Swords in reverse. What it's reminding me of is there's a quote that says, worrying is like praying for what you don't want. And that's what I'm getting from Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is a card of anxiety, tension, overthinking things, too much mental energy, too many swords, too many thoughts that bind you up. And when you worry about things, I'm getting another quote that says, worry is like a rocking chair. It keeps you busy and gets you nowhere. It's kind of blocking your abundance, Cancer. So I want to ask you, is there a way in which you may be overthinking about your wealth, your abundance, your overthinking that you don't have it, the lack of those things? That's kind of what I'm getting is your challenge this month. For some of you, it may be not getting pregnant. Is what I'm also seeing. You may be worrying about not being able to get pregnant, something like that. Because Empress talks about all things that issue forth in abundance, fertility, growth, money, wealth, abundance, just drawing everything to you in a receptive energy that provides wealth, that provides, value to your life. And I'm just going to say that the best thing with this Nine of Swords energy is to get out of your head. Do anything that connects you with nature, connects you with earth energy, fire energy, getting active, or connect with your heart, which is water energy. So that's your challenge this month, is to try to not get in your head, try not to over worry things, and especially as it relates to your allowing and receiving abundance, wealth, growth, fertility, everything good coming to you. Because this card is here for you, Cancer. It's just a question of removing the fear, doubt, or resistance that you may have towards being this person. What's it like to be satisfied? What's that like, instead of worrying? And the root of it is getting paid a fair dollar for what you do. This is Six of Coins. This is equity. It's balance in what is given and received. So it's like if you're putting out a certain amount of work, getting a certain amount of money back for it. For some of you, this may be reevaluating how money comes into you, because the second house is also the house of income. So you may be seeing that, I've been working for this company, but they take a certain amount from my paycheck to cover certain expenses or this and that, and it's not working for you anymore. You may want to branch out on your own or go with another company that, pays you your full amount. However this is showing up for you, Cancer, it's saying that the root of the problem is one of balance or equity, equal exchange, fairness in what is given and taken. That might be why you're not feeling satisfied or abundant or, wealthy. So that's what I'm seeing. And what's good is that death is here in the past. This means letting go of an old situation that has run its course. It means cutting away old things that have bloomed and grown and are no longer relevant to your life. So with this in the past, I see that you may have completed something recently. All of you have just moved into a new personal year on your birthdays last month. So this is sort of like saying goodbye to the past. And whenever I see this card, I always always try to remember to bring up the phrase, let go or be dragged. You know, you have to let that past be in the past. In your crowning or opportunity position, we have Eight of Swords in reverse. And this means being able to free yourself from these binds of the mind, from these mental binds. As you can see here, this is what's going on: overthinking, worrying, being tense, being anxious. And with Eight of Swords in reverse, it's an opportunity to allow that negative thinking, or especially I'm going to say worry, allow all those swords to drop away, Cancer. You know, allow whatever's imprisoning you, making you feel powerless, draining you, making you feel like you're captive to a situation. Your opportunity is to let all that go, to identify what thoughts are you surrounding yourself that might need you might need freeing from. You know, there's a Abraham Hicks thing that says thoughts become things. And in this case, thoughts can become a mental imprisonment where you're thinking of things in such a way that it binds you up. That's what's similar in both of these, your challenge card and your opportunity card. But what's great is your opportunity card is saying you can come out of this. Your opportunity is to stop overthinking, stop over-analyzing or worrying, and actually take action here. This is Queen of Wands. And normally this is a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, so that could be someone who's coming in as a mentor or someone who inspires you. But this is really, I'm also seeing this as you, Cancer, where you are taking action, becoming the sunny, radiant queen, who is also very much in line with Empress here. These queens get things done. They command an army of someone who's carrying out their wishes and fulfilling them. So this queen is very bold. She's very charismatic. She's witty. She's she's got a sunny disposition. She's not worried. She knows her own capabilities and is confident, and so goes forward and takes action. She's the Queen of Fire. So she's the queen of getting things done. So what I'm seeing, Cancer, with this is that as you identify what's fair, you know, identify what's an equal give and take or good compensation for what is being offered. This is very second house energy. You know, income and expenses, budgeting, finance. It totally works with your second house eclipse. As you identify that, you have the opportunity to challenge this overthinking, this work, especially as it relates to your wealth and abundance, and let this overthinking go that just keeps you paralyzed, and start to take action on things. That will help. That's sort of like the fire energy that melts the swords, you know? It's really like when you take action, you're not just sitting around worrying, praying for things that you don't want. You're taking action on making things happen. And look at what you get with that is you get new investments, new money, new opportunities, new invitations, new jobs, maybe potentially new stable relationship. Aces are always new beginnings, and this is where you're at, Cancer. You're being invited to walk into this garden of creating something new, planting a new seed. New moons, which is what that total, partial solar eclipse is, are times to walk through these gates, begin something new, plant something new, think in a different way, you know, receive something new. This is a gift from the universe, and it's being handed to you. So some nice money energy here totally makes sense with your second house eclipse. New opportunity to do something new in terms of money. Get paid what you're worth. Identify what's coming in versus what's going out. And plan accordingly. And it can alleviate some of this worry, and you can start taking action to make yourself happy and get the results that you want. Your environment is one of coming out of feeling like you have to cut corners, feeling like someone's taking something from you. For some of you, I'm really getting that you're putting out a lot of effort, but it's sort of like when the dollar gets passed each time, there are people in the middle who are taking parts out, middlemen, excess taxes or whatever it is. There's someone taking something away, but I'm seeing that's changing around. You may be the person who says, okay, I'm not willing to give this away for outsourced marketing. I'm going to do the marketing myself, or whatever form it takes for you, Cancer. Your environment is coming out of having to cut corners, having to feel like you're the thief who has to steal away things in the night in order to feed his family, or do anything. This is almost like a criminal card. I always call this card cutting corners, and I see you coming out of that with this. Even maybe if it's budgeting, saying, okay, I'm gonna not do this, indulge in this luxury so that my money lasts a little bit longer till the end of the month. Excuse my dog here. And then I also see in your hopes and fears, you want change, but you may also fear change, Cancer. So this card usually depicts something that we desperately want, but also something that we greatly fear. And this is the Wheel of Fortune. It's in the upright, so it's saying the wheel is turning in your favor. It's good luck. It's good, you're coming up on the wheel. But for some people, sometimes change, whether it's good or bad, can just be fearsome for some people. It can bring up feelings of fear. So I'm going to say, embrace the side of this that this is what you want. You want change. So allow it to happen. Allow this new thing to come in. Don't fear it if you can. Allow yourself the possibility of walking into this new garden. And, you have success here. Again, it's in reverse though, so is there fear of success? This is Six of Wands, which is being triumphant, being victorious, having success. It's the wreath of laurels here that goes to the victor of the competition. But with it in reverse, there is some fear, doubt, or resistance to being successful, being victorious. Maybe you've been in a pattern where you're used to getting paid less than what you're worth, and then you just worry about it on your own. This is saying it's here for you. You get to be the person of status, of reputation, of being acknowledged and recognized for your work, but you have some work to do in terms of releasing those fears, releasing any resistance to having this. It may just be like getting comfortable with a new normal of being successful, being happy, having the money you want, getting paid what you're worth. Feeling, it's no coincidence that these two are both in reverse together, feeling successful, wealthy, abundant, and happy, prosperous. That's what I'm seeing here. There's prosperity here, but you need to remove some blockages in order to let that in. And I see that you're right there poised and ready to let something new in, new ace, especially Ace of Earth, new coins, new relationship, new job, new opportunity. And then also what's governing this is Four of Swords in reverse. You Cancers, when you come into conflict or struggle, you go inside your shells. And that's what's going on here with Hermit and Four of Swords in reverse, is that you may have felt that you've been in your shell for a while, or that it's been, you've been kind of like pulled back from the world, or that you've been meditating on things, or trying to just kind of being in solitude in your mind about something, especially as it relates to finances. But now is the time to come out, especially after the 15th, 17th, or 18th, when Mercury comes out of retrograde in your second house. It may be time to act. You may be feeling like, okay, I've done enough waiting here. I'm really impatient with the waiting. I've done a lot. I've done my Mercury retrograde work of reviewing and revising and recharging and, taking all that backwards motion and putting it into use. And now I'm ready to go forward. Now I'm ready to let the times of change happen. Let in this new thing that wants to come in and experience the success, prosperity, and wealth that you're letting in now. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. I'm seeing it really related to your second house here, Cancer, and especially getting over any worries about or overthinking in terms of success, prosperity, wealth, abundance. Become Empress as you are, Cancer. Don't allow old themes and archetypes and ways of doing things hold you back. Cut this loose. You're ready to receive, instead of, you may be losing one rose, but you're receiving a whole new garden once you let it go. So that's my reading for you, Cancer. If you enjoyed this reading, feel free to give it a thumbs up or share it with another Cancer. And as always, I just want to thank everyone so much for watching.